We the 1st October 2020. No easy, but you want to get power. Little round of Sham, this one at the Sniper Scott, 1st October 2023. They want to take loan at the country of the Supreme General of the ADF, General Big Number alias Epan. No be easy, but now God, you want to get power. Don't have power with that, but we no get the flavor inside our country. This one of the new battalion. We just recruit, there are over 500 of them. The 1st October 2023. They want to take over the canopy of the Supreme General of the ADF, General Epan alias Big Number. You know it be easy when a God you want to get power. Shake, you know the.
Good morning, fellow AMBAZONIANs, and good night for other AMBAZONIANs with the day for this side for North America. For other AMBAZONIANs for different parts of the world, we salute. You don't stay a few days where we never talk, and we believe that today a very important day which one can talk for all our people them today. It be very important for the survival of the Ambazonian people them. The place where they now, other people them they don't go through what would they go through right now. In fact, other people they don't go through things that were the worst 100 times, maybe 1,000,000 times past what we would go through right now. And how other people then they get themselves for change their circumstances, change their situations, and for create a homeland for themselves. Which one can tell now today, as until it don't take me 3 days for to do research on the story, the history of the Jewish people them, which he make them, they decide say they must get their own homeland. Come rain, come shine, no matter what it take, no matter how long it take, they must get their own homeland. They must do everything humanly possible to establish a homeland for the Jewish people. We get very similar history. My research show a lot of similarities between the story of the Jewish people then and the Ambazonian story. The people, they get very similar stories. They share similar experiences. And in fact, they go shock una. Say, even though the Jewish people, them like Ambazonians, that same United Nations, it be vote for the independence of the Jewish state. But wait till they get for go through after that vote. It be unimaginable. For 29th of November for 1949, the General Assembly be convened for New York. The agenda for the day, now a vote for partition, British mandated territory of Palestine into two independent states, an Arab state for the Palestinian and a Jewish state for the Jewish people. And I hear for November 29th, 1949, the United Nations General Assembly will be convened. The agenda for the day, a vote for partition, British mandatory Palestinian territory into two independent states, an Arab state and a Jewish state. And the Jewish people then, they talk say, if you will eat, it is no dream. Give us sovereignty over a sufficient piece of land to meet the needs of our people. And the rest, we shall manage ourselves. When I hear, they not be asked for anything. They talk say if you only talk about it, it not be a dream. Give us sovereignty over a sufficient piece of land to meet the needs of our people. And the rest, we shall manage ourselves. The Jewish people then, for most of human history, they don't be the most hated people for this world. The Jewish people then, throughout most of human history, especially for the 19th century and the 20th century, the Jewish people then, which they don't go through, no other sets of people other than the slavery with the African people they be go through. But no other set of people they don't go through, which the Jewish people they don't pass through. In modern times, no other people then. No other people never suffer the way the Jewish people don't suffer. They will be the most hated people. They will be the most persecuted people. Everybody shame them. Everybody abuse them. The BBA people will not get home. Any place where they go, they shame the face up. Any place where they go, now abuse the face up. Any place where they go, they feel unwanted. They faced persecution. They faced constant shame and disgrace and humiliation. It reached for a point when the Russians, they start the anti-Semitism campaign. The Jews, they scatter all over Europe. And any place they go across Europe, the name that they call them, the shame that they face them. They face humiliation. Just like Ambazonians. Finally, after they don't face so much pain, suffering, and humiliation for decade after decade after decade after decade, the Jewish people then, they decide to organize a congress, a conference for the Jewish people. What will be the purpose for that conference? The objective for the Jewish National Congress, it will be for decide to establish a national home for the Jewish people then. For 1905, the Second Zionist Congress, it will choose, now listen very carefully, the Jewish people then, for 1905, they will get the Second Zionist Congress, and then they will choose the area they call Palestine, saying that for there, they go establish a Jewish homeland. Something all we will need for know, I say, when the Jewish people then, they decide for places they go settle, they go create their homeland. Now here, the Jewish people then, they be considered two other places beside Palestine, when at the holy ground, at the holy land. The Jewish people, they be also consider, say they go create a homeland now for Uganda. Now here, I know say most of them never ever hear this kind stuff. When the Jewish people, they be consider places they go create a homeland for the Jewish people, they be consider Uganda as the place. The second place where the Jewish people they be contemplate, saying that for them to go create their homeland, it will be for Argentina. Between 1907 and 1908, the hate within Europe against the Jewish people then, it don't grow so much. And then the Jewish people, they talk, say, Palestine, now a land without a people, for a people without a land. The Jewish people, they create a campaign. They say Palestine, now a place without a land, without a people, for a people without a land. When I hear marketing, when I hear psychology, for sell the Jewish idea, the idea of a Jewish state, the Jewish people, they create what they call and say the Jewish agency. The Jewish agency, it will be a think tank for push the agenda for it's the creation of a state for the Jewish people, a think tank organization for push the agenda for the creation of a Jewish state for the Jewish people. And that agency, it come up with a slogan, a psychological, tactical, persuasive marketing campaign. Say Palestine, a land without a people, for a people without the land. Jews must have a homeland called Palestine. by 1908 and 1913, the Jewish people then, they start for create settlements for Palestine. When they reach there, they start for buy land from the Arabs, from the Palestinians. They start for buy land, they start for buy land, they start for buy land, they start for buy land. And a lot of them, when they don't live for Europe, they reach for there, they get better ideas, they become better farmers, better business people then. They start for use their knowledge, so they don't acquire them from Europe, and they start to create better communities. And they start to make the Arabs, the local, the people who don't stay there for a very long time, it start to make them become jealous of the industrious, progressive, and forward-thinking nature of the Jewish people then. Now for here, it start the Jewish-Arab conflict based on jealousy. The one way they say that then they get the land, why other people when they become more successful than them. And they start to talk say, why the Jewish people then, they need to hire the Arabs, may they work for them. The one way they come like strangers, where they come buy land for settle there. They become more prosperous, more industrious, more hardworking, more successful, past the one way they don't stay there for centuries. When the Jews, they face all this persecution for Europe and all this hate for Europe, all of them start for make the campaign. Say the only way for end anti-Semitism, for end the hate against the Jewish people then, now forgive them their own homeland. Now forgive them a homeland of their own. Say you know if you end the hate against the Jews, if you not give them a homeland. With their own homeland, they could develop themselves to be as developed and unequal like other people then, and therefore they go reclaim their dignity, they go rebuild their humanity, and they go gain human respect. They go gain respect for the Jewish people then. What will be the goal for the establishment of the Jewish state? I know saying that they ask me. The goal will be now for end the pain and the suffering on the Jewish people. Now for end the persecution of the Jewish people. Now for make sure say they gain their own respect as a people. Now for make sure say they live with dignity as a people. I'll tell you something, Ambazonians. No people, they don't like to live under shame. No people not like to feel persecuted. No people not like to be dehumanized. The Jews, they suffer. Even till today. They call some across Europe gypsies. That pain, the hate with the face them, the pain with the face them, that humiliation, that dehumanization, that abuse, that social outcast with the face them. Because Europe not be considered the Jews like people. In fact, for Germany, they be passed the law. The Nazi, when Adolf Hitler he take over power between 1933-39, when he come in for power, when the Nazi people come in for power, they pass a law. They say they will grant the Jewish people then for commode Germany on one condition. If the Jewish people, they leave all their possessions if they leave all their wealth, they leave all their money, they leave everything where they get out, as long as they leave them behind, the Nazi government, it go grant the Jewish people them permission for move and go settle for Palestine. If they leave all their money behind, they leave all their wealth, they leave everything where they get out. So if they want leave, may they only go on an empty hand. So by World War I, it can change the face of geopolitics for the Middle East. The Ottoman Empire will be defeated, and at that time, the British, through the League of Nations, they will acquire Palestine as a British mandated territory. It will be an agreement between Britain and France. Okay? Which the British they want to do, just like what they do for everywhere. When the British Empire, it will be the most superior power for the world. It will be now for use Palestine for guarantee Western influence and Western presence for that area. By 1917, a new British secretary, what they call it, the Secretary for Foreign Affairs, and then Secretary Balfour, it come in, it will get sympathy for the Jewish people then, it will feel sorry for all which the Jewish people then they face them across Europe. And it talks, they say the English government, the government of the United Kingdom, when I listen for this, because it will be very similar to the story of the Ambazonian people. The government of the United Kingdom, when now it be in charge of Palestine, it talks, the British secretary talks, the credit they call and say the Balfour Declaration. Where the Balfour Declaration, now a document, a signed document by the United Kingdom, where it talks for the creation of the Jewish state for a national home for the Jewish people for Palestine. Okay? The time where the Balfour Declaration, if it take place, that Balfour Declaration, at that time, might give us statistics. During that time, by 1919, the population, it will be 98% of the population, it will be the Arab people then. 98% of the population, it will be the Arabs. Now only 2% of the local population, it will be made up of Jews. So I want to make you begin to think. Now only 2% Jewish people, they will be present the time they sign the Balfour Declaration. Now only 2% people then, they're made up of Jews. 98 will be the Arabs. So how come when only 2% population be there for that place where they call them Jews? 98% will be Arab. The English government is still create the Balfour Declaration. For talk say, a Jewish state, it will be created now for the state of Palestine. May I ask you something? The British, not that the British, after the First World War, they take over Ambazonia, govern Ambazonia through that period of time. Govern Ambazonia so that you can't reach all that other time. When I see the similarities, the British will be in charge of Palestine. Even when the United Nations don't vote for the General Assembly for grant the Jewish people them an independent state for Palestine, for divide Palestine into two, one side for Arabs, one side for the Jews. You will be very shocked, saying that the same British people them, they will stop the Jewish people them, may they not move to that same Palestine state. You will be shocked. Say the United States today, it will be one of the opposing powers for even allowed Jews them, may they move to the United States. All states within Europe, They block their borders. They prevent the Jews. May they not move for settle for their new homeland. When they hate, when the document leak, we should say Adolf Hitler, he don't promise when the Second World War they go on, say Adolf Hitler don't promise for kill between 3,000 to 5,000 Jews. The moment that document be leaked out, it create a panic within the Jewish population across the continent of Europe. And they start to leave everything behind. For start to move to Palestine. Guess who they stopped them? The British government. 4,000 Jewish people there. They succeed for enter Palestine. They take boats, take everything where they get them. Take canoe them, these ships, reach right for Palestine. The British government, it carry 4,000 people there, it bring them back to Europe. Sounds familiar? After they don't go through that kind of persecution, after during the same time where Adolf Hitler, he killed these people then, put them in gas chambers, use cyanide. What do they call and say prussic acid? Even when they kill them, the same British government, it prevent these people, they made them not run, reach the place where they call and say homeland. Finally, by 1919, the British government conduct a census where it shows say there were 700,000 Arabs and there were only 70,000 Jews. 70%, 90% of the population by 1919, it'd be 700,000 Arabs and 70,000 Jews. The population be there 10 to 1 ratio. 10 to 1. 10 to 1 ratio. 10 to 1 ratio. The people that still insist with their small minorities and numbers, they know say all of them will be scattered across Europe. They go come, they go hear say a homeland don't be created, and all them will move to their homeland, and the number will increase. That desire will be born out of pain, it be born out of shame, it be born out of torture, it be born out of the experience of the Holocaust, of the massacres. That pain, it drives the Jewish people. They talk say never again. They talk say never again. Say no go ever happen again. They must do whatever it takes to create a homeland. The Jewish people then, they start to create their first paramilitary group. Okay, what they call them? Haganah. Haganah are the first paramilitary groups, a defense force, with the Jewish people them, they create them. Even though it would be against the wishes of the British government. The British government is number one, make the Jewish people to get their own a defense group where you go protect them. Because it would be for British interest, for the Jews and the Palestinians, for continuously fight each other and quarrel with each other, then the British people, they will feel like say they be important. They will come be now like say then they be afraid. Now pay attention. Which is the lessons for AMBAZONIANs? Ambazonians be occupied. Cameroon from the British pass the territory to Cameroon. What the Ambazonians don't face? What the Ambazonians be face during the British occupation? What you face? Almost the same thing we face through Cameroon's occupation. They don't take what people them. We don't go through torture, persecution, shame, abuse, dehumanization from one phase to another. So why be say the Jewish people then? Would it be a small minority? 10 to 1. The press for a homeland. They not even get one. They bring a dream. They bring a wish. Until it happen. Why be say we will get a homeland? Now for our own homeland, they abuse we. Now for our own homeland, they persecute we. Now for our own homeland, they kill we. The Jewish people not be get a homeland. They will be a homeless people. They charge forward. But their own pain, it force the world. Say the world must give them a homeland. They choose a homeland. They talk say Palestine, not their homeland. They say the Holy Land, Jerusalem, not their homeland. They say Palestine, not their land. They insist, they persist. They start to move there one person at a time. They say they no one live in the shame of Europe. They no one live in the shame of the Western world. They're not like me. They begin to kill their pidgin and bury some alive and take everything where they possess them. Everywhere where they go, they be persecuted. The pain drive them. The shame drive them. The humiliation drive them. The dehumanization drive them. If people will not be getting homeland, they press for a homeland. Now come back from Ambazonia. The land of our own. The country of our own. The same United Nations, it grant with the independence. They not talk say, they will give we another people their land. The land of our own. From the beginning of time till now. So why a small group of persons? They go come out from distant land. They go create a homeland for a place where it be very hostile. And they end up becoming the most powerful people for that piece of land. Ambazonian our own. Cameroon can't occupy our land. Since 1961. Now only for 2017, the Ambazonian people, under Dr. Choluka Sayaba, they actually create a defense group for the protection of Ambazonian people. After all those years of persecution. But the Jewish people then, once they settle, they start to realize and say the environment be very hostile. They create Haganan, a paramilitary group for the protection of the Jewish people then. And they make it become the most powerful thing. So by the time the first Arab-Israeli War 1 start, they don't become the most powerful people for the region. Our lessons and our history, they be almost the same. Things that they will be taken from the Jewish people. Lessons that they will be learning from the Jewish people. If you not build power and insist on the humanity of your people then, and insist on the life of your people then, and insist for the dignity of the people then, and insist for create that homeland for your people then, nobody will come and save you. The same Western world where it called for the creation of the Jewish state. They leave the Jewish people then, make they die. The Balfour Declaration, it established the Jewish state since 1917. They still leave the Jewish people, they made them die in their millions. Even when the Jewish people don't try for reach the same Palestine, the same British people then, they carry those Jewish people then back for boats, 4,500 of them, bring them back for the shores of Europe. Lesson number 1. A people must make their desire so strong past anything else for end their suffering and their pain. Lesson number 2. No person will save you if you not stand up for save yourself. The Jewish people, they press on. They press on. They press on. Once they start to see signs of a homeland, they increase their presence, increase their power. After 1945, a lot of them, after the experience of the Holocaust, they realized and said, no hope, no day. If they spend one more day for Europe, they go all die. They all stop for move to the homeland. They send at the final destination that the only hope for the Jewish people, not the homeland, not the Jewish homeland. All them, they start to move. At the time they want to get home, their education in the West, they don't go home empty hands. They go home as scientists, industrialists, capitalists, entrepreneurs. They go home as physicians, professionals. They go home as nation builders. They go home with one singular purpose: to build, develop, and create the most powerful state in a hostile region. For create the most developed state for a place will be full of chaos. For create an economic superpower for a place where everybody can be average. For create a level of prosperity and a quality of life will be unmatched in the region. But above all, they swear to themselves and to the one that they don't die before them. They swear to themselves and to all the Jews where they don't pay the ultimate price, and we create an inspiration for this generation for demand and accept their right for a free homeland. They promise themselves never again. Never again say Jewish Pekin go live in shame. Never again say Jewish mommy go be demonized. Never again say Jewish people they go be persecuted for any part of the globe. They promise themselves, say anytime, any place, where any person, a mess up, a killed a Jewish person, the person go face the wrath, the collective will of the Jewish people. Any person where you attack the Jewish state, that person go face heaven in hell, or he go face hell on earth. The Jews, the Jewish people, they go unleash onto that person or persons hellfire on earth. But tell anybody else, if you touch a Jewish person, you touch a Jewish state, you threaten their security, they go vaporize you. They go dust you. They go turn you into dust. And the purpose of power that. The only way for defend the freedom of a people, those people must build power against all aggressions. They must become powerful. We must learn the hard lessons from the Jewish experience. We must learn the hard lessons. The world not be what you think. The Western world not be what you think. The United Nations not be what you think. All right? The UN Security Council not be what you think. Your General Assembly not be what you think. The international community not be what you think. Without power, you be a slave. And you could live as a slave as long as it takes. Because slavery is the benefit the powerful. The weak, they be at the mercy of the powerful. If you choose to be a victim in this world, or you choose to be a powerful person. For a long time, the Jewish people, they believe themselves at the mercy of Europeans. And therefore they pay the price of shame, poverty, segregation, dehumanization, abuse, and finally, the Holocaust. Once they face that price, they pay that price, they go through those experiences, it teaches them a very hard lesson. If people will not get a homeland, they'll be useless, and they will be at the mercy of international circumstances. Pride, that's something where a culture was given for a people them. Not be any another people not go give any other people than pride. Pride, that's something when a people they must build them for themselves. Mandela fight very hard for give the South African people pride after they don't face those same problems for a very long time. They will be persecuted, they will be segregated, they will be killed, they will be haunted, they will be abused, they will be tortured, they will be shamed. Because they make them feel like dogs. Mandela vowed. So the best way to give the South Africans dignity and self-preservation and to stand for their freedom. I tell you this story so that you become a student of history. If you listen for political opportunists, where they tell you, say, if you fold your hand enough and beg the world enough, see, if you go cry for the United States Congress, you go cry for a certain congressman, a certain congresswoman, then some person, you go can call for a referendum. Now, what happened with the first referendum where they call and say plebiscite? What happened with the vote? When we fail, make we not blame international system. We must blame ourselves. When they be passed that United Nations resolutions for grant the AMBAZONIan people them independence, the people they fail for build power for themselves, for defend it, for protect it, and establish for themselves a powerful state for the AMBAZONIan people. So the people that pay the price for being cowards to the international system. This time around, we must learn lessons from the Jews. We must learn the mistakes of the South Africans. And we must stand up and embrace with all other people them, where they don't be free and establish for themselves a state where they call a homeland. Give themselves sovereignty. Build themselves, make themselves powerful and respected. No man will give you. Paul Kagame, it take a people who will be persecuted, haunted, killed, massacred during the Rwandan genocide. They say it must come to an end. The people, they must live with dignity. The people, they must prosper. people they must develop. The people not fit live like that anymore. Barbaric. See today Rwanda. The Rwanda we see them today, they be born from the ashes of genocide and pain. The Israel we see them today, they be born from the suffering of genocide, of the Holocaust, and the years of decades of persecution. Now I give them that determination. Now I give them that courage. Now I give them that defiance and that commitment. For commit themselves, forget a homeland for the Jewish people. How much you don't suffer, your grandparents don't suffer, your parents don't suffer, and how you too feel toxic, enough is enough. The establishment of the Ambazonian state, the freedom of the Ambazonian state, the liberation of the Ambazonian state, the sovereignty of the Ambazonian state are the only thing, are the only means we feel guarantee for the Ambazonian people there. A life worth living, a life of dignity, a life where people feel be protected and they feel safe. Learn from the Jews. Learn from others. Do what you don't do. Learn from the experiences of others. Avoid their mistakes and follow best practices. The Israelis today, they don't forget their homeland. If they don't build themselves a powerful defense structures. They start from Haganan. The Ambazonian Governing Council today, they want to salvage the humanity of the Ambazonian people there. For establish for the Ambazonian people there a free homeland. It follow the example of the Jewish people there by the creation of the Ambazonian Defense Forces. For start the process, for start creating defense structure for the protection and the defense of the Ambazonian people and for the Ambazonian liberation. Your goal is for supporter. Support what you defend our people them. Support what you liberate our people them. Stand for the independence of Ambazonia. Stand for the freedom of our people them. The only way for end Cameroon nightmares, Cameroon torture, persecution, abuse, and genocide on our people. The only way for end Cameroon's tyranny on the Ambazonian people them. And for we for create a homeland for the Ambazonian people them. We must fight for it. We must defend it. We must protect it. How will we achieve it? The liberation tax. The liberation tax, now your own means, now your own method, now your own commitment for secure a state, a sovereignty, freedom for yourself, for your family, and for all we. Pay your liberation tax. They not tell you make you join, make you become a fighter. They not tell you make you go carry gun. The only thing we will ask of you, pay your liberation tax. 5,000 for man for woman them, 10,000 for man picking them. If all we pay our liberation tax, we will see a free homeland in a very short period of time. The strategy with the leader only and be very simple. Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba and the governing council, their focus now for capture state by state. The liberation tax, it go help we for capture the first state. Start for the move to the next. Alright? It be very simple. We must finish this work. Pay your liberation tax. The freedom where you want them, now you hold them. Pay your liberation tax. Now, my one winner. If you spend all your life for internet, for WhatsApp, you argue with any person you like, it be totally up to you. Argument is not commitment, you hear? Argument is not action for freedom, you hear? You argue. The more you argue, the more you waste time. Cameroon don't create spoilers. People, the way their goal now for make you argue so that you remain in the distraction of arguments. Their goal now for create counter messages. Their goal now for tell you make you not pay the liberation tax. Whereas they need to offer you anything. Cameroon go now make you not pay the liberation tax. La République go now make you, the Ambazonian person, not pay a liberation tax so that you remain under Cameroon occupation. So when some person where he never ever buy you gun, he never ever train a soldier, he never ever recruit a soldier, when he come out, he can't talk say make you not pay the liberation tax. Remember, La République no one make you pay liberation tax because liberation tax will liberate you. So if La République no one make you pay liberation tax, La République will make you do it, make you remain under La République occupation. You hear? Now, when spoilers, they tell you make you not pay liberation tax. They want to make you remain under Cameroon occupation. They speak the same language. I be a neuro-linguistic programming expert. If you don't know, I teach this stuff for corporations. Spoilers. They don't want to make you pay liberation tax. They fight the liberation tax. La République fight the liberation tax. Say make you not pay. The spoilers, they say make you not pay. So the spoilers, they work for who? If La République fight liberation tax, and La République no one make you not pay liberation tax, then the spoilers, they attack liberation tax, blackmail liberation tax. Then the spoilers, they work now for who? You know the answer. You not be a fool anymore. You be wise. If you want to be free, pay your liberation tax. Now your ticket to your freedom. If you want to remain under La République, colony, tyranny, occupation, torture, killing, self-destruction, no pay. You choose for be free or you choose to remain under occupation. That one, it didn't for your hand. But you know the answer. Be like the Jewish people then. After their painful experiences, they take the hard road, a commitment to freedom. And that freedom not by more. Say we must defend that freedom and fight for it. And nobody will take me away from this land. Be like the Jewish people then. Mobilize for the defense of homeland. And the road to freedom that. Pay your liberation tax. If you love yourself, and you love your life, and you love your future, if you want a better future very soon, you want them for your picking them, if you want to live a long life, a healthy life, a prosperous life, an optimistic and hopeful life, pay your liberation tax. Arguments are for wrap you into nonsensical, never-ending argument, non-stop argument. Argument not be commitment. Argument not be action. Pay your liberation tax, na commitment. Pay your liberation tax, na action. Pay your liberation tax. It shows you be wise, it shows you be smart, and it shows you want that freedom now. I call on every single Ambazonian who want freedom. Cut off yourself from spoilers. Cut off yourself from noisemakers. Cut off yourself from empty talking heads. Cut off yourself from people that will never ever buy you gun and build you one defense force. Any group of persons, we after 7 years, where you, they don't kill 20,000 Ambazonians. They never buy you a gun. They need to work for your interest. A goal for delay your independence. Yeah? Any group after 7 years, and the war will come on declare among us, It don't kill 20-something thousand Ambazonians, burn 1,000 villages, cause more than 10,000 of our people them be scattered all across the Republic of Cameroon jails. Send 750,000 Ambazonians to become homeless, and they be in need of emergency surviving food. As the UN report don't come out, 85,000 Ambazonians that suffer from Nigeria's refugees. Who knows how many thousands they did for other countries? And who knows how many thousands they did as refugees for the occupier state? If all these things matter to you, then pay a liberation tax. You hear? I call on you for be a nationalist. I call on you for be a leader. I call on you for be a person of action and not noise. You want freedom? Stand for it. Think like it. Act like it. Talk like it. Any group where you did it, when a noise maker they did it, leave that group. Any group where you did it, when a spoilers they did it, talking heads they did it, do nothing people they did it, leave that group. Any group where you did it, not call any movement a movement. In a liberation struggle, on a war declared on you by Cameroon, that group, they never buy you gun. Any train you soldiers. Any group of persons who they tell you say they be a liberation movement, they never build a school for picking them. They are not a liberation movement. They are a group of spoilers created by Cameroon to delay the independence of the Ambazonian people. Them. Most of these groups, they be infiltrated and they be taken over by CPDM political elites working on behalf of Cameroon for twist the heads of the Ambazonian people them for make them a bunch of cowards. Say people without a sense of direction. So that at the end, they frustrate you, they manipulate you, they weaken you, and then they kill your will. Then at the end, they surrender you back to the Republic of Cameroon. These people be in all forums in the names of IGs. I get a lot to talk on that tomorrow. I'll tell you how Israel is smartly divide and weaken the Palestinian people then, so that they don't get one central focus. And at the end, the Palestine people them, they don't get a state of their own. There's so much I need for talk on now because I do so much research for provide solutions and answer for our people then. You get to understand how this life they work. If you don't understand them, you go fall choky. Cameroon not be stupid for create 5 IGs for be stumbling block for the Ambazonian independence. Now rise up, pay your liberation tax, and we could get ourselves out of this mess. When I go night, let me just go sleep. Now 1:30 of my time here.